Welcome everyone to the Esports World Cup 2026. We have Parham Maghsoodloo who's playing here against the Indian Grandmaster Aravindh Chithambaram. And this is the play-in phase that's happening on the 11th of August 2026. Now what is the play-in? So 22 players have been selected and now 8 players are playing today at the play-in stage, out of which only 2 will make it to the group stages. So there will be total of 16 players tomorrow, and for that 2 spots Aravindh is fighting, Parham is fighting. They both have lost one match already. Aravindh to Alexander Grishchuk while Parham to Vladislav Artemiev. So they are in the losers bracket right now, the lower bracket, and if they lose one more match here, then they are out of the tournament. So a lot to play for here. Game number 1, let's begin. Aravindh Chithambaram is playing with the white pieces, opens with d4, knight f6, knight to f3, we have d5 and the queen's gambit declined. Knight comes out to c3 and Parham takes. So he goes for the queen's gambit, accepted here. We have e3 to get back the pawn, a6 and bishop takes c4 has been taken. We have pawn to b5. By the way, these moves have been synced to the actual time that these players are making moves, their expressions and all of it. So you are getting these moves in as the expressions of the players are. Pawn to c5 hitting the center and white castles. Black can now decide to get the bishop out, but even this bishop can come out. Bishop b7 played and queen comes up to e2. Now remember, there could be some sacrifices with bishop takes b5, but Parham continues his development. Knight bd7, a very standard position. Rook comes to d1, facing off against the queen. Usually the queen sits on c7 or b6. He goes to queen b6 here, and I think Parham has a fine position, but a very typical idea in such positions where the queen is here is to play a4, b4, and now knight goes to b1. Take, because the knight is coming from d2 to c4. He goes bishop d6, and now Aravindh already starting to get a slightly better position here. He goes knight d2. Imagine the knight coming to c4, then a5, the b6 square is weak, the d6 is a bit weak, queen c7, knight jumps to c4. White is already doing quite well now. Castles, and Aravindh can push a5. He goes knight to e5, which is also a fine move. And Parham Maghsoodloo now taking his time. He can play a5 himself, but he goes knight to d5. And I guess Aravindh should this time take his chance to push the pawn forward. No, he goes queen e4. He's threatening a mate in 1. But it's not the best move because black can play the move f5 here. A very typical idea, very good idea. And let's see if Parham plays that move f5. He's taking his time and he plays f5. Now the problem with f5 is not the move in particular. Like imagine you could take on d7 now. The e6 pawn would be weak. But the actual issue is that after you go back, black is going to take on e5. Yes, queen e2 has been played, knight e5 immediately taken by Parham. And now if you take back with the knight, I will take back with the bishop and I will get your pawn to the e5 square. That is the big issue here. That is the big problem. So Aravindh now thinking about what to recapture with on e5. Should he take with the pawn? Because if he takes d5, there is bishop c5, and if knight e5, there is bishop e5. So these are the possibilities. He takes with the knight, and Parham has to make a decision now. He takes, and a5 played. Bishop d2. All of a sudden, it's black who is better here. Black is the one who's pressing, but not much. I mean, the position still remains complex. Rook a c8 is the natural move here. Parham taking his time and goes the other rook to c8. Rook f c8. Black pieces are wonderfully positioned in this manner. Queen, rook a c1, queen comes to b6, and perhaps you can put your bishop on c4 and maybe try slowly to play h3, f3, like cover up the light squares. Bishop goes to b5 for Aravindh, and maybe some ideas of bishop d7 hitting c8 and e6 square. Aravindh plays bishop b5, bishop c6 by Parham Maghsoodloo. He's offering a trade of the bishops because in the ensuing position, the knight on d5 would clearly dominate the bishop on d2. Well, what to do though? You have to trade. It's a great move, by the way, bishop c6. Parham playing excellently here, putting Aravindh in big pressure. And now Aravindh, I'm sure he's looking to change the character of this game. It's not going his way at all. He takes on c6, rook will take on c6, yes, and h3 played. A good move, taking away all the back rank worries. But black simply doubles, rook takes, and maybe just queen to d3. Not sure how should white continue, where is the counterplay. But if I know Aravindh well, he will aim for g4 break here to do something active. First he goes queen d3, h6 by Parham. And now, good or bad, you just go g4. Play it. That's the only counterplay you have. He plays it, takes, and now white gets some hopes. By the way, queen c7 played, attacking the e5 pawn. The hopes are queen g6, bishop takes h6, all of these ideas start to open up. He goes queen g6. His point is, if you take here, then queen e8 check and you lose the rook. So you can't do that. So queen f7, queen comes back to e4. You don't want to be trading queens. Once you trade queens, I think there will be too many weaknesses to take care of. So h5 played by Parham. He's opening up the white king. And now, if Aravindh takes, queen h5 hits the rook. Looks like a good position there. He goes king g2, improving the position of his king, hoping to get the rook to h1, h takes g4, queen takes, and now rook swings over to the c2 square. The only move now to get some play is rook c1, because if you take on d2, I have a check here, king h7, queen h4, and actually white is winning there. But he finds rook c1 and Parham instantly plays b3. He had his move ready. Aravindh in some trouble here. King f1 is the best move. But he goes queen e4, and that's a mistake. Because yes, still you can't take here because of rook c8 check. However, there are strong moves now. Firstly, queen f5 is a good move, but even stronger, queen b7. Setting up knight f4 check, exchanging the queens and all of that. Queen b7. Can Parham find it? He has 2 minutes 48 seconds. Aravindh has 2 minutes 6 seconds. He finds queen b7. Well done, Parham Maghsoodloo. Moves like this win you the game. Rook c2. He goes b takes c2. And now king f3 played. By the way, just so that you know, knight e3 check wasn't working because of king f3, and the same was the reason here as well. This is winning. So b takes c2, king f3 had to be played, queen b3 played, king g2, he takes the pawn, threatening to queen g6, a nice move by Aravindh, because if you now queen, I have queen e8, king h7 and queen h5, at least a draw. So Parham goes for the right move, knight c7, stopping the check here. He now asks Aravindh what to do. Aravindh goes back, stopping the queen, also threatening the check. Excellent defense here. Check, king h2, queen comes into f3, attacking the pawn on f2. check, queen f8. He drops back. If queen takes c7, f2 is hanging. That's the problem. So he comes back, queen d4. Now Aravindh down to a minute. Remember, no increment. That's the thing about Esports World Cup. No increment. Queen f5. Queen goes to c4. And black is clearly better. Knight b4. But can he win this? It's very difficult with less time. But he does have 1 minute 34 seconds. Queen comes to c7. Queen e4. Check. King comes up. Check again. Bishop blocks. Still can't queen. The white queen is holding the queening square. How to make progress here? Because your own king is in trouble. On g8, there can be perpetual check. So he goes back. King h2. Aravindh trying to close in on the time gap. He has 44 seconds. 1 minute 5 seconds for Parham Maghsoodloo. Check. King h7. Queen check. King comes up. Oh my god. Queen d4. He puts the queen in the center. Knight jumps to d3. Threatening to queen. f4. Can you make a queen now? He can make a queen actually and win the piece, but he goes knight e1. He's threatening a fork here. King comes up to g3. Parham down to 38 seconds. Aravindh has 27 seconds. He goes back to d3. Queen c4 stopping the queen. Now king h5 threatening queen g4 could be a good idea. He goes back knight b4. King f3 check. Check. King goes to e1. And now king f5. Black coming in with the king. Insane play. Bishop d2. A check. Trading the queens. And once the queens are traded, it's all over. f5. You make a queen here. Takes. Knight takes with a check. King d2. He picks up. And now this is very, very quick. The players play really fast here. And look at this. He's cornered the king. He's bringing his own king. And checkmate. Checkmate there. Parham Maghsoodloo scores the first win. And Aravindh Chithambaram now has to win on demand with the black pieces. This is not going to be easy at all. Very tricky here. But Parham Maghsoodloo, what a play by the way, by the guy. And with this, he scores an important win. Aravindh now just one game away from elimination. He needs to play his best chess possible here. Second game about to begin. The players are locked in. Let's go. Aravindh here with the black pieces and Parham with white. We have the queen's gambit declined. Knight c3, knight bd7 by Aravindh. Takes. And now after bishop g5, let's go a few moves ahead. We reach this position with very complex play. White has a knight on e5. Let's look at the clocks as well. 5 minutes for Parham, 4 minutes 30 seconds for Aravindh. Rook jumps to a7 by Parham. He attacks here. I think this is the kind of position you are looking for when you are in a must-win situation. Knight jumps into e4, attacking the queen and the f2 pawn. Takes, knight g4, lot of pieces get traded. Now attacking e2 and f2. Queen jumps back to e1, defending f2 and e2. And now the b7 pawn is also a bit loose. How do you defend it? Maybe rook f7 is possible. b5 played here by Aravindh. His only hope for counterplay here is h5, h4. If he can open up the king side, he would have something to play for. Rook a6, attacking the c6 pawn. I'm not sure if he has enough. Counterplay h5, knight c3. Now threatening knight takes d5. There's a pin here. Need to move the queen away. Parham Maghsoodloo. He is one of the best players in the world and he's showing it here with some excellent moves. And very tricky idea. If you play knight takes b5, I have queen c8 attacking the rook and winning the knight. So you can't take here. He goes queen a1, defending the rook. Now threatening knight b5. h4 played. Can we do knight b5 now? Well, queen f7 attacks f2 this time, and then the knight falls. So still can't play it. Still can't play it. Rook a8, very smart move by Parham. He says that yes, you are getting your attack, but I am going to trade one of your main attackers, that is the rook, and then it would be very difficult. So h3 played by Aravindh. He's trying to open up the light squares, takes. And now take on h3, bishop h3. If only the black queen could come here, that would be game over. Light squares are weak, the king is weak on g1. However, it's not at all easy with the white queen being so active. If you try to run here, I'll simply start giving checks to the black king. So Aravindh needs to take care of that. He goes king g6. Knight comes to e2. The knight does not have the f4 square. That's the good news for black. But black also is looking that how can I win? You know what? The bishop cannot be here and the queen coming in is impossible because the white queen will keep giving checks. What you need to do is realign and think about the game, the famous Nigel Short versus Jan Timman game, where the black king took things, there it was the white king. King took things in his own hands. Queen h8, bishop g4, and came in with the king. So if Aravindh can maneuver that, that would be something. Now queen comes to e5 in the center. Parham has 2 minutes. Aravindh has 1 minute 15 seconds. Heart rate of Aravindh 150 beats per minute, while Parham has 129 beats. Check. King h5. Aravindh is doing it. Queen e5. Will the king go one step ahead? King g4. Oh, he goes in. This is super risky, but it's also what you need when you have to win. But Parham has kept such a good lead on the clock. Queen h8. A good move. If you come king f3, I have at least queen h1 check to smoke you out. Bishop f5. And one of the ideas of this move is to put the bishop on h7 and then try to come in when there are no checks. That's what has happened. Bishop h7, but it's a blunder. Queen c8 check and you lose the c6 pawn. But right now, that does not matter. King f1, queen to h5. The queen eyeing to come into h1, but there is knight g1. Knight jumps to g1. Parham is like, no stress here. I want to take no tension. The knight is the best friend of a king. King g2 played. King h5, he has to run back. Queen c8. It does feel like Aravindh is not going to make it. He has only 37 seconds now. And you could see that look on Aravindh's face. He was like, it's not working out. Check, king back, queen d7. The white queen is playing an incredible role in this game. King f1, bishop f5, hitting the queen. Queen e8, bishop comes to g4. And now, some check or not. He comes back, king g7. He's trying to keep things, but somehow Parham's time is not reducing. He's keeping the lead on the clock around 30-40 seconds. King f1, queen d6. King g2 is moving the king back and forth. Aravindh has the last chance of 20 seconds to do something, but what? The limitations of the chessboard. King g2, Parham repeating, bishop f5. Aravindh wants no draw. By the way, here you don't even have to offer draw. It's esports, so the computer itself will give a threefold repetition. Queen e7. And now knight h3 attacking g5. He takes it. King h3, check. King comes back. Queen f6. Well, mistakes do happen under pressure, but somehow here they seem unlikely. Queen e2 played by Aravindh. He has only 9 seconds left. Meanwhile, Parham has 46 seconds. Check. And he can now give a perpetual. There's in fact a mate that's happening now if you find the move f3. But he's like, I'm happy with a draw. Let's make a draw because that's all I need. And king h8, queen f7, a draw agreed. Parham Maghsoodloo makes it to the next round. Aravindh Chithambaram has been eliminated from S8 UL. which means that India will have only 3 players, not only, actually it's a great number, 3 players in 16, top 16, Arjun, Nihal and Pranesh. Aravindh, who was so close, making it to the top 22, could not make it to the final 2. And Parham will move ahead now. He will have new challenges to face, still many opponents to beat if he wants to make it to the top 2. But kudos to Aravindh. Well, he tried his best. He is an amazing player, and I'm sure that in the next version of Esports World Cup he'll do well. Handshakes between the players, and well, we can listen to what Aravindh has to say in a post-game interview.
Aravindh, very sorry to be talking to you under these circumstances. A very difficult match just now. Talk us through game number 1 and what happened in the first match.
So like I was with the white pieces, and to be honest, like I did not get like much in the opening. Like even in my match against like Grishuk, my openings were a bit shaky, I felt. But with black, I was doing good, but with white I was losing, which was a bit frustrating. But I think the game, I think I should have released at some point and made a draw. I don't know. I thought I can push a bit more, but I should have just stopped at some point and equalized, maybe played for a draw, maybe. So nothing much happened. I was outplayed, to be honest.
And talk to us about your Esports World Cup experience overall from start to finish. What has Paris been like for you?
I was happy that I could make it to the Esports World Cup here. But it's a very strong event. Now I understand I need to work harder to win, to beat these guys, and of course these guys are extremely strong, and hopefully I can come back stronger next year.
And you've got teammates to continue cheering on as well. Still plenty at stake for the club championship.
Oh yeah, two youngsters. I think definitely. I think hopefully both of them will make it to the finals, or at least one of them. I'm cheering for them and wishing them a good luck.
Aravindh, thank you very much. The fans loved you as well. Really appreciate it, and we hope to see you back.
Thank you.
We were there.